The Minister of Human Settlements, Water and Sanitation, Lindiwe Sisulu, is meeting with the Nelson Mandela Bay Metropolitan Municipality leadership about the looming water crisis facing the city. Nelson Mandela Bay put out its action plan yesterday to stave off a day zero scenario in certain parts of the city. Combined dam levels have dipped below 13%. Let's take you to that briefing.
Municipalities do not have that capacity. Happily, we do have an engineer, a resident engineer here. I think there are two of them. So that is what we would like to see in most of our municipalities. The purpose of my coming here was to respond to the invitation of the mayor. But it's quite clear to me in the end that the mayor had wanted me to leave some money and go away. But I responded to it because we are concerned about the drought we've had in this, what used to be called the Nelson Mandela municipality. Is it now called Kabeja municipality?
Nelson Mandela.
Okay. We have had 4 years, of drought. And it's probably the longest time that we've had a drought in any part of our country. And if it continues, we are going to be in serious trouble. So we're planning ahead to make sure that we can give the municipality as much support as is possible. It is in our interest to do that. It is in our interest that our municipalities are functional, and it is in our interest too that the municipalities are taking the necessary steps to ensure that we can find a way of lessening the impact of the drought. I got a briefing from the mayor, got a briefing from the engineers in the department, in the municipality. We got a briefing also from an engineer from Amatola Water, which was been responsible for looking after you. And I got a sense that we understand the problems that we have, and we are planning ahead for how we are going to avert possibly the worst disaster through drought that we've ever had in our country. And driven by this, I came to listen and offer support to the municipality to the extent that it is possible for us to provide that support. Out of this, we have agreed that we will be requesting Treasury to consider the possibility of utilizing the rollover to ensure that we are able to cope with some of the problems that confront us. We are also very keen to make sure that we can follow through the plans that were laid out to us this afternoon of very ambitious plans of desalination and everything else that will be done to provide us with as much water as is possible. It was explained to me that one of our townships, Nobuhle, currently still has the tanks that we rolled out during COVID. And we await a donation of 100 tanks from Rand Water. Before I leave, I will have called to find out when those will be delivered, because we need them very desperately. We discuss also this, the situation that some of our schools, the ablution blocks of our schools, and we have offered that we will look into that, because children are our most fragile, valuable asset for any country, and we don't want a situation where we have another disaster in our ablution facility. So we have offered as a national department to assist in that, and of course we will be asking the Minister of Education to support us in that as well. There are boreholes that have been dug, 50 of them, I'm told. What we need to do now is install that which will pump the water out, and I've been assured that this is on its way and we will be having water for our citizens. However, I'm sure the mayor will insist on this. We would like to ensure that the water restrictions are strictly adhered to. We don't have enough water, and we want Nelson Mandela to commit itself to ensuring that those restrictions are adhered to to the extent that we're able to monitor very strictly adhered to. So in short, having discussed all of that and having initiated our engineers about how government works, we think that we've completed a very good session of discussions, and I have committed that we as a national government will also be adding on to the resources to offset the disaster of the drought. But we haven't yet talked about the conditionalities of that money coming to the municipality. There will, of course, be conditionalities, but we came to pledge our support by being here and understanding the problem and seeing in whichever way we can help, we will help. And we've also pledged financial support to the municipality. And we would like to say to the Mayor, please use every opportunity available to tell the people of the Metro that we do not have water. Please spare the water that we have, because we are in a drought situation. Thank you very much, Mayor, and thank you very much to all of you.
Thank you very much, Minister. I must say we are very honored to have a Minister of Water and Sanitation with us here in the city to discuss some of these issues. She always comes when she's invited in this city, which give us a sense of confidence that she respects the values of cooperative governance. And when we extended an invitation with the minister, we didn't have to beg. She said she will come because she believes that the crisis of water, it's a national crisis and it has no political affiliation. It's an issue of saving lives and livelihoods. Therefore, I want to thank you for being a stateswoman. Secondly, as the minister have said, is that we had a very fruitful meeting with the minister, and we got the counseling that we wanted from her, and the direction that she have given us. And I want to say the minister was very clear to us, is that we must do everything into our power to put up restrictions around the water crisis we have. We do have a water crisis, but as I always say, we have not reached day zero. But if we do not restrict our consumption of water, we would reach a crisis. And our engineers have explained it very clear that by the 1st of July, areas such as KwaNobuhle will run out of water, Shallow, Woma Heights, and many other areas. Therefore, we can avoid that by reducing our water consumption. And this should be partnership with the people. And the people must first take responsibility. And the minister have instructed us to put those restrictions. Our water dam levels are 13% right now, which is a very serious thing. It's just an indicator that if we do not behave differently, we're going to have a problem. The minister have asked us about our water augmentation program, which she have committed to assist with water tanks, in particular in KwaNobuhle, and many other programs that relate to this. We also spoke about leak detectors that we need to consider to assist us in dealing with water leaks. We have committed as a municipality into those issues. Lastly, the minister have committed a financial injection into this to say the Department of Water would also assist us in different programs that were going to be engaged. The most important is the commitment of the minister to persuade the National Treasury, National Ministry to consider bringing back the rollover, because this is a disaster situation Therefore, we have to save livelihoods and we have to save lives by saving water. Therefore, I want to make a call to the people of the city to say we must work together to make sure that we do not reach a dry July. And the minister is here to affirm that the national government will be working with us in this direction. I'm sure she will send a technical team to come and do oversight and guide us on a number of areas where we're supposed to speed up. Therefore, Minister, with those few words, on behalf of the city and the city councillors, we commit to this. We have today committed on the desalination plant for the Kucha IDZ. The reason why council agreed on that is because Kucha is a business zone, it's a business hub. Therefore, we want Kucha, when they go overseas and say whether they can provide water for investors, they can confirm and say they have a water source right in Kucha. Therefore, council today have approved in principle agreement for the establishment of a desalination plant there, that in the future we might use. The minister have cautioned us on some of the experiences in the country. We note the caution of the minister, and I think our technical engineers in Kucha would learn out of that experience. With those few words, thank you very much, ma'am, for coming in this beautiful city of Mandela. It's not yet Gqeberha, it's still a city of Mandela. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Khawubuza engineers bazifuna ukuthetha nazo.
Okay, as I say, we give our engineers the opportunity to comment on the developments today.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon. I'd like to thank Minister Lindiwe Sisulu for inviting us as part of a delegation to come to the Nelson Mandela Bay, just for us to get an idea about the local challenges that are happening here. I'd like to thank the executive mayor and his team for the presentations that were delivered today. I think it really gives us a glimpse of what the challenges are and what the engineers need to do to make sure that we deal with the drought challenges that are facing Nelson Mandela Bay. I think for us it was very, very concerning, and I was really taken aback about the level of drought that is facing Nelson Mandela Bay. And I totally agree with the minister and the executive mayor that all the effort needs to go into making sure that we save and reduce the water usage. I think the leaks or the non-billable revenue due to water leaks of up to 40%, it's something that I think this local team needs to focus on as a matter of urgency, because we see that as loose-hanging fruit that needs to be dealt with very, very urgently, so that when the minister takes the business case to Minister Tito Mboweni, I'm sure he will be keen to know what initiatives are being put into place to stop all the losses that are currently taking place. And we also support the minister in saying that those 20 or odd youngsters that are helping with leak detection need to be absorbed either permanently or as fixed-term contractors, so that whatever savings that come out of them finding out the leaks and helping with the stoppage of those leaks, in our view, it will help pay for their salaries, because they'll be saving the local municipality from losing all that water. So with those words, I'd like to thank the minister as well as the executive mayor for hosting us today. I don't know if the deputy president wants to add.
Thank you.
Engineer, do you want to say something?
Thank you very much. I'm not going to be long. I think mine is just to say I think the city is committed to build a water resilient city that will be able to support social and economic needs into the future. We have been back on a journey where we are actually diversifying our water resources and augmenting as well to ensure that we provide 100% water security for the city. And I think we are very grateful for the interventions that are coming from the national department and the assistance as well to ensure that we realize some of the initiatives we are doing to ensure that we have got a water city that is resilient going forward. Thank you, Minister, for being part of the team that's going to assist us.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, at this stage, we are going to open the session for our journalists to ask questions. Please identify yourself and the media house from which you come in. Pumzi, please help us with your sanitation as the mic circulates amongst our journalists. Yusuf, you go first.
Thanks very much. Minister, my understanding is that the province, as in the provincial premier, Mr. Morgiani, has not yet declared a provincial drought disaster. And my understanding is that if he did, that would be a good thing because it would facilitate being able to approach National Treasury for funding, which would of course help the worst areas like Mandela Bay. Would that be a good thing, and should it happen in your view?
Let's take a few more questions. Go ahead.
A very good afternoon to you indeed, Minister Lindiwe Sisulu. I'm not going to waste any time. The issue of water crisis has been indeed covered extensively in the media space. Not to waste any time, but the Mayor has also indicated in his opening speech that there will be money that will be allocated indeed. How much money are we talking about? Not only that, but how confident are you that the money that will be allocated will be indeed address the challenges of water crisis in the Nelson Mandela Bay region?
Can you identify yourself and the media?
Zolani is my first name, my second name is Zola.
Any other question?
Hi, I'm Patrick from Sunday Times. I just wanted to know a bit more about the desalination plant. When would we expect that to be completed, and is it a little bit too late? And day zero, we heard so much about day zero in Cape Town. What does day zero tell me? How dire is day zero for this province? Thank you.
In the absence of any further questions, I'll ask the Minister and the Executive Mayor to respond to the questions that have been asked.
Thank you. You're not yet in day zero.
Yeah, not yet.
No, okay. Shall we start with the last question about day zero? We're not yet at day zero. We are at a point where we are concerned that we should use every opportunity to avert a disaster. And so I'm here at the invitation of the Mayor, and he has laid out what his plans are. And his plans are a desalination plant in Kucha. His plans are enforcing the restrictions on water. His plans are the groundwater that he, where we have about 50 wells, boreholes that have been dug. So I basically have learned what they are doing and what support they would need from national. It is my responsibility to respond to a problem such as they have in Nelson Mandela, and we haven't counted down to any day at all. But we are concerned that it is the driest period we've had in our living memory. We're now going into our fifth year? Sixth year. And that is very concerning. And we are making plans to ensure that we don't get into any minus day something else. The next question was around the Premier. Has he declared a disaster yet? No, we're not yet in a disaster, but we are trying to avert a disaster. By the time we have a disaster, the Mayor will, of course, contact the Premier, and the Premier will obviously consider this and declare that declare the place a disaster. And the question was, would we not be in a better place if a disaster was declared? And the answer is, not sure. We're here now, and we've offered all the assistance that we can offer to avert a disaster. We are not going to wait until the disaster happens. We are trying to avert it, and we learn also with every problem that we have how to do it better. And we want to make sure that this one is averted to the extent that it is possible, which is why the Mayor is emphasizing the point of adherence to the restrictions that all the citizens of the metro and surrounding areas should be mindful of. We need water. The water that we have right now should take us through the next year. And in that way, we will be in a better position to deal with most of the issues that we need water for. The last question was, what would these resources be for? The resources that we are promising the province, sorry, not the province, the Mayor and the municipality is to ensure that some of the matters that would prevent a disaster are put in place. We've already pledged 100 tanks which will be delivered by rainwater to go to those areas that are most vulnerable. I had hoped that by this time the water tanks would have been in place, but unfortunately that has not happened. I will give rainwater a call, and I would want to make sure that not only do they place the tanks there, but they supply the water themselves on a regular basis until such time as we are out of this situation. Will the resources that I have pledged respond to the problem? No. Money does not necessarily always avert a problem, but it assists us cope and it assists us manage what we have much better. And the money that is referred to is a rollover request to the Minister of Finance. So I'll have to buy a tin of pilchards at the corner shop and make it an offering to the Minister of Finance to say I'm from Nelson Mandela Bay and they are begging that you allow them to keep their rollover money because we dearly need that. I've also pledged some amount of money because we're concerned that if we don't do something as a national government, it is going to be a disaster. And a disaster is a very expensive experience. We don't want to get there. Thank you very much.
The city manager would like to respond to the question of desalination. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. The desalination plan, which obviously I think some of the building blocks has happened today with the in-principle approval by council, will be delivered around July 2022, and we hope that we're going to get the first drop of water from that plant then, both things being equal. So I think now there's an opportunity for us to be able to sign the necessary agreements with the implementing agencies, and they will continue the evaluation of criminals and we are hoping to deliver next year, 2022. Thank you.
We are going to take the last round of questions. Over to you. And who wants to go first? There are no more questions?
Minister, I'll find myself in Sarah support and federal policies trust. Minister, who may go out to my economy as a cope, you know, to address the challenges of man's people. And God was my man is the time and who confidence that my man is a cope is about to address these challenges. Not only that, but I mean, the team plans and also for the Desalination plan going forward.
Sanitation.
Ndizazama ukuphendula ngesixhosa. And the interesting thing is desalination now is busy desalination.
Lithala
lamanzi. Ifundile ke ngoku. Silapha soncedisana size apha uzoncedisana nomasipala walapha ngale meko abakuyo. Uncedisana nabo ke kunyanzelekile ukuba sincedisane ngemali. Andizwitsho ke imali sibanika yona. Kodwa ke bendicelwe ngumunicipal manager uba ndithethe noTito Mboweni, uminister wenelsika Tony Finance ngesixhosa nazo. Wezemali. Uba lento ekuthiwa i-roll over sigcine apha eBhayi. Sikwazi ujongana nale meko sikuyo. Ebeke watsho ke umeya ke uba zininzi into esifuna uzenza. Kodwa le desalination othetha ngayo ayizuphuma kum. Yawuphuma kumeya nezo ndawo azazifumana kuzo. Because iKuha is an industrial zone. Banemali zabo. So a partnership between umeya ne municipality ne Kuha would provide the necessary resources uba sibe nalo desalination leyo. And the next time ndilapha ke meya ndabe ndifundile uba desalination isixhosa yintoni. Kodwa le ephuma kum ke uncedisana nabo uba kwezi ndawo ezifana nobuhle kubekho amanzi. Uba izikolo zibe namanzi uba nendawo sand i-toilets zabantwana bethu zibe right ngoba asifuni ukuphinde sibe nala disaster esike sanayo apha ezweni apho abantwana bethu beswelekela e-toilets. So sisafuna uba sincedisane nabo sibanike amanzi bakwazi uba bafake amanzi e-toilets abantwana bakwazi ukuflasha.
Minister Lindiwe Sisulu at the Nelson Mandela Bay in Eastern Cape going to intervene in the water crisis there, saying that she couldn't just drop off money and go away, but also talking about imposing water restrictions so that the province should not reach level 0, day 0, as was expected. And on to other news, the ANC's Northwest Interim Provincial Committee says former chair Supra Mahumapelo is still suspended for 5 years, and the IPC has accused ANC Secretary General Ace Magashule of deliberately misinterpreting the ANC constitution. They further say that Magashule has not sent the alleged appeal letter to the ANC IPC, and the IPC says Magashule has no authority of the NEC to lift the suspension, and say Mahumapelo's membership is still intact. So we take a break and we'll be back, and still to come we'll have more analysis on the ANC's step-aside resolution as it's dealing with it today. And of course today is the day for those who have been accused in alleged corruption to step aside.